Let me ask you something that might ruffle a few feathers. What if everything you've been told about aging is only half the story? Most people expect to slow down with age, the stiffness, the aches, the "I'm not as young as I used to be" jokes at family dinners. But what if those symptoms weren't destiny, but signals? What if your body wasn't breaking down, but simply asking for something no one ever taught you to give it? I'm 92 years old, and I bounce out of bed every morning, no limp, no groan, no fog. Not because I won the genetic lottery or live in a lab, but because I started doing something ridiculously simple. Just 3 minutes a day. That's it. Not hours in the gym. Not weird supplements. Just small, precise habits that anyone can do, even from bed, and the results? Let's just say my grandkids struggle to keep up. These aren't the kind of things your doctor tells you. They're not trending on social media. They're passed on in whispers between those who figure it out. So if you've been waking up tired, achy, stiff, or anxious, I've got news for you. Your body is trying to talk to you, and now, finally, you'll know how to listen. And hey, if you find value in this kind of real talk about energy, longevity, and feeling truly alive at any age, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm on a mission to reach my first 1,000 subscribers, and your click would mean the world. Let's build this movement together. Edward Collins was never one to complain. A retired woodworker with rough hands and a sharper wit, he had always started his mornings early, until his joints began staging a protest. "I swear, it's like my knees are glued shut," he told his wife, grumbling as he tried to swing his legs out of bed. For weeks, even the thought of standing made him wince. But one morning, out of sheer frustration, he sat up and slowly began circling his ankles. Then his knees. Then shoulders. Just 3 minutes, no more. 2 weeks later, he was not only walking easier, he was back to making coffee, humming like he used to. His body was waking up with him, not against him. The trick wasn't in a miracle pill or some high-tech gadget. It was in movement, simple, deliberate, consistent. What Edward didn't realize at first was that during sleep, synovial fluid, that joint lubricant, gets thicker. That's natural. But without motion, it stays thick, like syrup in the cold. No wonder he felt like a tin man every morning. Once he started his mini morning ritual, it was like WD-40 for his joints. His body responded. His mind followed. "It's strange," he said to his grandson one morning. "Just a few stretches, and suddenly I'm not afraid of the stairs anymore." There's something magical about activating the body right after waking. It sends signals to the brain. Hey, we're alive. Let's move. Balance improves. So does mental clarity. Edward even joked, "I feel smarter before breakfast now." And his story isn't unique. The people who make these tiny, almost laughable changes often see the biggest transformations. It's not about being young again, it's about being ready again. And as we'll see in the next part, when the breath is shallow and the heart's racing before your feet even hit the floor, there's another simple tool that turns everything around. Linda Thompson had always been a morning person, or at least she used to be. But somewhere along the way, her mornings started to feel like emergencies. Heart pounding. Chest tight. "I'd wake up like someone had just shouted fire," she said, eyes wide as she recounted the episodes. Her doctor ruled out heart issues, which only made things more confusing. "If it's not my heart, what is it?" she asked, frustrated and exhausted. Then, during a quiet afternoon chat with a friend, she heard about a 3-minute breathing practice. Skeptical but desperate, she tried it the next morning. Nose in, slow mouth out. 3 minutes. No panic. No dread. Just stillness. The truth is, shallow breathing is a sneaky thief. It creeps in overnight, steals your calm, and leaves you running on fumes before the day even begins. What Linda was experiencing wasn't just breathlessness, it was her nervous system stuck in go-go-go mode. That's what chronic stress does. It rewires the body to expect danger even when there's none. "It felt like I was being chased," she said. But with each slow inhale and exhale, that invisible weight lifted. And something else happened too. She started feeling present again. Grounded. Like she wasn't just surviving her mornings, but actually steering them. Funny how we forget that breathing, something we do all day without thinking, can become our most powerful tool for peace. Linda noticed her thoughts becoming clearer, her hands steadier. She began journaling again, watering her plants, all because she gave herself 3 minutes of mindful breath each morning. Now I lead the day, she smiled, instead of it dragging me around like a bad dog on a leash. And while breathing calmed her mind, she soon realized that her legs were telling a different story, weak, wobbly, almost like they'd lost the will to move. Walter Brooks used to joke that his legs were just for decoration these days. At 65, he wasn't expecting to sprint marathons, but he also didn't expect to feel like Bambi every time he stood up. His legs wobbled. His balance fell off. It's like they forgot what they're there for. He chuckled bitterly one morning. His doctor gave him the usual spiel: aging, sedentary lifestyle, yada yada. But something didn't sit right. He still had fire in him. So he tried something unassuming, a 3-minute routine of seated marches and heel raises. Sounded ridiculous. But after the first week, he noticed something wild. His legs started to want to move. Now, don't get it twisted. This wasn't some miracle transformation with violins playing in the background. It was subtle. A little more ease getting out of a chair. A little more bounce in his step. But those small wins stacked up fast. I caught myself dancing while brushing my teeth, he admitted, laughing. That mind-muscle connection had been asleep, not gone. By waking it up, Walter didn't just feel stronger. He felt alive. Blood flow improved. Energy surged. Posture straightened. It was like flipping on a light switch he didn't even know existed. What Walter learned, and what many don't, is that your legs are more than transportation. They're your foundation, your anchors, your rhythm. When they're weak, everything tilts. But when they're engaged, even for a few focus minutes, they send messages all the way up to the brain. We've got this. That quiet confidence spilled into his daily walks, his conversations, even his mood. But just as he started building strength and confidence, he noticed something else messing with his rhythm, a sharp, nagging pain in his knees that always showed up after breakfast. Elaine Murphy loved her morning routine, the soft light creeping through the curtains, the familiar clink of her spoon in a bowl of yogurt and fruit. But somewhere along the way, those peaceful mornings began turning sour. By mid-afternoon, her knees were aching like she'd just hiked a mountain. It doesn't make sense, she told her daughter. I'm not doing anything to cause this pain, but it keeps coming back. The mystery gnawed at her, until one day, while flipping through an old health magazine, she stumbled on a line that made her pause. Some foods trigger inflammation without you even noticing. That was her spark. Determined, she started experimenting. Out went the sweetened yogurt, the fluffy white toast, the sugary coffee creamer. In came a bowl of oats topped with wild blueberries, a sprinkle of walnuts, a dash of cinnamon. It didn't feel like punishment, it felt like a gentle shift. Within days, the afternoon pain started fading. Within weeks, it was nearly gone. It's like I took off a backpack I didn't know I was carrying, she said. That wasn't just breakfast, that was fuel. Fuel that either sparked inflammation or calmed it. And it turns out calming it didn't just help her knees. It helped her move better, think sharper, and feel younger. What Elaine discovered is something most people miss, that what we eat first thing sets the tone for how our body behaves the rest of the day. One little tweak and her joints stopped screaming. She didn't need a new diet or a new doctor. She needed awareness. That morning bowl became her daily dose of self-care. Now I treat my breakfast like medicine, she smiled. But just as her joints were thriving, another stubborn symptom made itself known. Her legs, though stronger, still felt heavy, like she was dragging weights up every staircase. Walter Bennett wasn't out of shape. At 83, he still wore a belt without needing extra notches and walked his little dog twice a day. So when his legs started feeling like bags of wet cement, every time he climbed the stairs, he was baffled. It's not pain, he told his wife. It's like gravity got stronger overnight. No arthritis. No weight gain. just this weird, sinking fatigue in his limbs. His doctor shrugged it off. "That's aging," he said. But Walter wasn't buying it. He had too much life left to feel this stuck. Then he overheard something in the grocery store line that changed everything. Omega-3s help with circulation. Huh. That night, he did a deep dive. Fish, especially fatty ones like salmon and sardines, were packed with omega-3s, the kind that help blood vessels relax, boost oxygen delivery, and support muscle performance. He decided to test it. Out went the bacon and sausage breakfasts. In came baked salmon twice a week. When he was lazy, he'd pop open a can of sardines with lemon and eat them like a snack. Just 2 weeks in, the results hit him. "I flew up the stairs," he laughed. Okay, maybe not flew, but I didn't need a break halfway. His legs felt lighter, stronger, like they belonged to him again. It turns out heavy legs aren't always a weight or arthritis problem. Sometimes it's poor blood flow, and that's fixable. With the right nutrients, Walter's body started to cooperate again. And that shift didn't just affect his legs. It lifted his whole spirit. "I even danced a little at church," he admitted, half proud, half embarrassed. The connection between food, movement, and vitality was finally making sense. And all it took was a few conscious swaps. But what if someone told you that all these life-changing shifts began with just 3 minutes a day? Because that's exactly what's coming next. So, now I want to ask you something. What would your mornings look like if you gave yourself just 3 minutes? What if your body didn't feel like an obstacle, but your greatest ally? These aren't just habits. They're invitations to feel strong, sharp, and steady again. And you don't have to wait years to see change. Sometimes, all it takes is a week. Sometimes just a day. I'd love to hear from you, really. Have you ever felt that heaviness in your legs? That morning stiffness or the racing thoughts before your feet even hit the floor? Drop a comment below and share your story. You never know who else might feel seen because of what you say. If this video sparked something in you, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button. It helps this message reach more people who need it. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss these simple, powerful insights. I'm still on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and your support makes this journey possible. And before you go, don't stop here. There's another video waiting for you. It's linked in the description and right here on the screen. In it, I dive even deeper into a daily practice that changed the way I sleep, recover, and think. Go check it out. I'll see you there.